Duet just finished their launch special program, and here are the things that you need to know. Before we start, here are the codes that you can use once the game releases. You can take a screenshot of it if you want. So the first thing that you need to know is the devs are already hard at work. If you're wondering what that means, they said they fixed all the bugs and issues they found in the game. Of course, the game isn't going to be perfect at launch, so make sure to report any bugs or errors that might occur. And they'll be sure to handle them, which I believe they will, since they've also said that they hired more manpower to ensure that every bug is fixed swiftly. So if you encounter any error at all, make sure to use the report function. Now let's get into the juicy stuff. First, let's talk about the story. Apparently, there will be two perspectives in the game's story. What this means is I still don't know, but if I had to guess, these two seemingly different character designs might both be the main character, which is most likely the case. At launch, there will be 4 story chapters. First is the prologue, next is Fox Hunters, Noctoyager Chapter 1, Noctoyager Chapter 2, and The Boy and the Girl in the Dream Chapter 1. Next, they showed the 1.0 trailer, where we got a look at the first characters available at the start of the game, and this includes Truffle and Filbert, the Hog Rider duo, Rebecca, a free reward sent through the mail, Berenica, a pre-registration reward, Lesbel, obtainable in the Mystic Maze as a reward, plus a bunch of different weapons. On release, there will be a total of 19 playable characters. Other farmable characters available at launch includes from the Noctoyager faction, Outsider, and Berenica. From the Hyperborean Empire, Sybil, most likely my main character, Lynn, Rhythm, Daphne, Randy, and Mommy Hellfire. Next group is the Elysian Church, which only includes the Hog Rider duo, Truffle and Filbert. For the Republic of Luca, we have Rebecca and Tabitha. From Washu, we have Fushu. And with no affiliation at all, Psyche, Fina, Fantasio, Lady Navel, Margie, and Yale and Oliver. Now for the playable weapons, let's start with the ranged weapons. First is Firearm Feast, a grenade launcher good for dealing damage with hordes of enemies. Silent Sour, a shotgun great for burst damage. Flamme d'Epuration, I don't know if that's how it's read, but it's a flamethrower. Blue Current Pulse, a dual pistol that's just cool. Arclight Apocalypse, a bow that's cool but more elven style. Next we go to the melee weapons. Alpides Abound, the weapon Psyche uses in the trailer. Undying Oneros, a whip sword that should look best with Sybil. Punitive Inferno, the great sword Hellfire wields. Shackle of Lone Wolf, the sword held by the Outsider. Momiji Iteki, a katana for when you want to look cool. There's also this fish sword they didn't really show in action, but I'm sure someone out there will make a video defeating the hardest boss in the game with a fish. As for Genimons, basically Pokemons, they might get in trouble for that. I'm kidding Nintendo, they're different. They're Genimons. So they showed a few, but I'm sure that there are more. On their pre-registration site, they even had a mini event where you could choose a Genimon to start by playing a mini game. Now let's move on how to obtain characters. So let's make Psyche as an example. To get Psyche at launch, we will have 28 days to collect Psyche's secret letters, a currency to go on a challenge and get her. You can get these secret letters from a permanent game mode called Immersive Theater, where if you collect a certain star, for example you get 3 star, you get some of the secret letter of Psyche. From there will be a challenge called Covert Commission, where you'll have to use the secret letters that you got as a ticket to challenge that dungeon. So once you finish it, you will have a chance to get Psyche Shard, and if you collected enough, you can unlock Psyche. So I don't know how much shards you need to collect because they just said that if you collected enough. So to collect the weapons, you'll again be able to get some tokens from the Immersive Theater, the same way you collect secret letters. These tokens can be exchanged in the in-game shop for the weapon's secret letter, not the weapon itself. These secret letters can then be used to challenge the dungeon of the weapon that you want, and once you have enough fragments and crafting materials, you'll be able to craft it. So basically, obtaining characters and weapons is almost the same with just different challenges. Weapons simply require additional crafting materials. I mentioned that you will only have 28 days to collect Psyche in our example, right? But what happens if that 28 days ends and Psyche is replaced by another character such as Fina? How will you obtain Psyche then? When there's a new character such as Fina, you'll be able to obtain her the same way you did with Psyche, but as for Psyche, from my understanding, she will no longer be obtainable through immersive theater, but instead through a boss challenge called Nocturnal Echoes. So what about the other characters? For example, if the featured character in immersive theater is only Psyche, how do you obtain your favorite character? For the other characters, you'll be able to obtain their secret letters through other dungeons which are harder to get than the featured character in immersive theater. But because of the player feedback saying that it's harder and could be frustrating, the devs decided to also add drop chances for secret letter clues just by defeating enemies. They also mentioned that there will be lots of secret letter clues given as a reward when you complete permanent system challenges. So what are secret letter clues? Secret letter clues are like fragments of secret letters. Once you obtain 10 secret letter clues, you can exchange them for the secret letter of the character that you want, and then go challenge their dungeon for a chance to get their shards and unlock them. There will be 3 types of these secret letter clues. One for characters, one for weapons, and one for demon wedges. These also drop from daily dungeons and can be farmed directly through Nocturnal Echoes. Demon wedges are basically the equipment, or if you're a Genshin player, the artifacts of this game. For players who don't have time to farm for these clues, they can simply wait every 28 days until their character becomes featured in immersive theater, which should be good for casual players so they don't feel overwhelmed. They also urge you guys to provide feedback on what you want to improve so they can keep refining the system. They mentioned that as new characters and weapons are added to the game, they will also add new features to make obtaining the older ones easier. So to summarize this, you can infinitely farm every character available in Immersive and Nocturnal Abyss, but some characters can only be farmed in limited ways since they're harder to get if they're not featured yet. You can think of Immersive Abyss as the limited banner of the game, while others are the standard banner, which is harder to obtain. Also, for the regular commissions and covered commissions where you farm your shards, you'll be able to play with your friends or with random players through the online matchmaking function. If you want to clear the dungeon alone, you can use the auto combat assistant function. This auto combat function in this game mode alone I think is fine, since repeating this every single day would definitely cause burnout. So moving on, let's talk about their monetization model. After making every character and weapons free, how do they plan to make money? As you already know, the answer is cosmetics, but they added a twist to it. They made it into a banner. We'll still get some free pulls, but overall, if you actually want to get the skin, then you'll have to spend a little bit of money to obtain it. At release, the first banner is going to be called Starlight Rondo, where skins from the Hog Rider, Rebecca, and others are available. The limited banner will be called Summer of Dreams, Dreams of Flutter, which is Psyche's skin, where she turns into a beautiful violinist with her violin being a polearm skin. Accessories are also found in this banner, so if you really want to complete the ensemble, then you'd have to go and wail for this banner. Pulling on the banner will give you iridescent prisms, which you can exchange for exclusive postures such as this one. You can also do a trial run for this skin so you can see if you actually like the design when used in the game. This Psyche skin is also color customizable. Color changes include her combat skill effects, ultimate effects, and outfit color. Since demon wedges and weapons also affects your design, it'll look much cooler when combined with them. Here are the samples of her outfit colors and the changes. Besides the purchasable skin, they also added some free skins and displayable postures for free-to-play players to enjoy. You can showcase your skin after you've unlocked the co-op feature following Chapter 1 of Noctoyager. They're also releasing Christmas-themed skins. These skins will have a limited discount from October 28 to November 25. This will cost $0.99 per pull, or basically $1, which is very cheap. I would for sure get this skin because I think that the male version designs are very clean. Keep in mind that this will be a gacha, so you could get a skin from a character that you're not targeting. But after buying 2 chests, you'll be able to choose the character that you want the skin for. Also, only the first 2 chest pulls are discounted, which is enough to get the guaranteed selector. Theme skins such as these Christmas ones will be permanent, but the discounts are limited time only. There are also these banger songs from Misty Corvus which could give me a copyright strike, so here are the titles if you want to listen to them. And for the pre-registration rewards, since we've hit all of the milestones, here are the rewards that we'll be getting. A total of 25 pristine hourglasses. I don't know what they're for yet, but they're most likely the currency for pulling on the cosmetic banner. Dragon of Fantasy Lulu, a Genimon, 5 commission manual, number 2, trapped in bed animation, 6 iridescent dye, and the character Berenica which will be sent to your mail. Now let's go to the events. Events are the way for you to obtain hourglasses and many other materials. Hymn of Abundance, one of our first limited events, gives you 10 pristine hourglasses just by logging in. Another permanent event called Bon Voyage can be obtained by leveling up and completing specific quests. This one gives you a total of 20 pristine hourglasses, 160 secret letter clues, the barbecue posture or animation, and the Arclight Apocalypse bow. Another event requires you to log in for 7 days to get 10 prismatic hourglasses. There are also another login task called Message of the Nightingale which requires you to again log in for 7 days to get 10 pristine hourglasses. There are also limited time events that includes mini games for you to complete, rewarding you with secret clues, track shift modules, and progression materials. After 28 days with the release of Fina, we'll be getting a new limited banner called the Rainbow Colored Dream. Alongside it, there's a limited event where you'll have to complete 4 different stages with Fina using Dreamweed pigment to color objects and complete missions. This event will grant a large number of secret clues to unlock your favorite characters as well as Carmine globules. On December 8, an event called A Stranger from Afar will be available, which is most likely a story event featuring a new character. For world improvements, they enhanced the color tones to make the environment look more lively. They also added grappling hooks for traversal, which looks similar to the ones in Wuthering Waves, a super useful feature for traveling. For graphics, if you're an NVIDIA GPU user, you'll be able to enjoy DLSS 4 in-game for a smoother experience. Also, pre-download opens today, October 26 at 10 AM Beijing time. You can pre-download the game from the Google Play Store, App Store, and Epic Games. They didn't mention Steam, so hopefully they just forget to include it. There's also a sneak peek of version 1.1 where the map takes inspiration from Eastern countries such as China. The supported language are traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and English. With that, that's everything that is revealed in this global launch program. I'm urging everyone to report any bugs or game changes you want to see. The developers seems committed to listening to the community, so we should take full advantage of that. With that said, subscribe if you like more videos like this, and I'll see you in the global launch of Duet Night Abyss.